Good afternoon and welcome to TVM News. Today is Friday, November 17th. I'm Colby Hughes.
And I'm Emily Rowe. This week we have news about a fundraiser in Columbia County that supported a summer camp for those with special needs.
We also have updates on the Israel rally held in Washington, D.C.
And we'll be checking in with TVM sports anchors John Downey and Vincent Goldschmidt to find out the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
Marywood student educators and campus ministry are coming together this holiday season to spread the holiday cheer to those in need. From now until December 8th, there are 4 giving trees set up around campus. One in the Learning Commons outside of Nazareth Dining Hall, the Education Hallway in McGowan, and lastly in the Center for Athletics and Wellness. These trees will have tags on them indicating who you are buying the gift for, and then you can take the unwrapped gift to the campus ministry office in the Swartz Center. These gift donations will benefit Friends of the Poor, Northeastern Pennsylvania Youth Shelter, Community Intervention Center, the Catherine McCauley Center, and Marywood Heights.
The Tutoring Center is seeking tutors for the spring 2024 semester. The following positions are open and need to be filled: science, math, writing, philosophy, and course tutors for business, nursing, and history. All tutors are expected to maintain a 3.2 GPA and must fill out the Student Employee Interest Form and Peer Tutor application for consideration. For more information, see the email sent on November 13th to see the specific courses the center is seeking tutors for and contact with any further questions.
From now until November 30th, NeighborWorks of Northeastern Pennsylvania is accepting applications for their Snow Angels program. This program, which is in collaboration with Geisinger Commonwealth School of Medicine, is a volunteer program that assists the older members of Lackawanna County. During the winter, volunteers for the Snow Angels program provide snow removal anywhere from 24 to 48 hours after snowfall for older adults in the community. For further information or to submit an application, contact Kira at kjameson@nwnepa.org.
All around campus, you will notice boxes with flyers on them for numerous donation drives being held by different campus groups. These are clothing donations to support the Northeastern Pennsylvania Youth Shelter and clothing drive for the Guatemala. Both of these drives are looking for new or gently used clothing in youth and adult sizes. A donation drive supporting the Women's Resource Center is seeking baby food and supplies, hygiene products, clothes, school supplies, gift cards, bus passes, and non-perishable food items. Help support the community throughout the holiday season with these donation drives.
When we come back, we'll tell you about a fundraiser in Columbia County that supported a summer camp for those with special needs. But first, here's Hunter with the weather report.
Thank you, ladies. Here's the weather forecast. Today is cloudy with a high of 59 and a low of 42. Saturday will be partly sunny with a high of 53 and a low of 34. Sunday will be partly sunny with a high of 45 and a low of 32. Monday will be partly sunny again with a high of 42 and a low of 31. For Tuesday, there is a 60% chance of thunderstorms with the high being 44 and the low being 30. Wednesday will be partly sunny with a high of 43 and a low of 30. Thursday will be sunny but cold with a high of 33 and a low of 24. Next Friday, it will be partly sunny with a high of 37 and a low of 22. I'd also like to give a birthday shout out to my dear friend Lizzie Hugler. We'll be back after these messages.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
Oh, man. I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
A Thanksgiving meal fundraiser was held in Columbia County to support Camp Victory. Camp Victory is a summer camp for children with special needs, and this fundraiser is one of many that allows for the camp to be financially accessible for everyone. The proceeds from the Thanksgiving meal fundraiser go directly back into the camp to ensure all the families that want to send a child to Camp Victory can, no matter their financial status. The campers also have a Thanksgiving dinner at least once a week throughout the summer as well, so it all comes full circle.
Earlier this week, Snyder County had a horrible car accident that took the life of 16-year-old Hayden Gibson. Hayden was on his way to school early Monday morning when fog filled his vision, making him unable to see the tractor-trailer in his path, causing him to hit it head-on. Hayden's family had a hard time believing the news on Monday, as Hayden went to school on the same road every day. Following this accident, many of Gibson's friends sent messages to the family telling them how much he helped them and had an impact. There was a candlelight vigil that was held at Midwest High School that was on Wednesday. This will keep Hayden alive in the hearts of all who attended.
On Sunday, the Multicultural Center at Penn State Hazleton was decorated to celebrate Diwali. Diwali is known as the Festival of the Lights, celebrated in the Hindu and Buddhist communities. A group of staff and students used this celebration as a learning opportunity through food, crafts, and activities. They hope to experience different cultures and decrease the ignorance around other cultures.
Very early Wednesday morning, firefighters were sent to the former Cascades Tissue Group building in Ransom Township. Fire tore through the old factory without a known cause. Newswatch got to the scene as soon as the flames were put away, but weren't given a reason as to what started the fire. The cause of this fire is still being investigated, but we can all be thankful that nobody was inside the factory during the fire and the firefighters were all safe during their firefight.
In Honesdale, the Destin Animal Shelter is full after 31 dogs arrived after being saved from a hoarding situation in Wayne County this past weekend. These dogs were tied up all over the property with no food, water, or shelter. Most of the dogs are malnourished with sicknesses and are not well socialized. Destin Animal Shelter is seeking donations of money and supplies to care for the dogs. The shelter was at capacity before these dogs were taken in and is now over capacity, but now Destin is closed to take care of the dogs. It is unknown whether charges will be pressed at this time.
Bloomsburg's own Amy Bacon is getting ready to set up the giving fence for this upcoming winter. Amy's mother started this tradition around a decade ago when she saw kids walking home from school without anything to keep them warm and cozy. So she made it her mission to get the kids the apparel needed. During the winter, Amy's fence is lined with plastic bags filled with clothing items for kids to grab and wear on their way home, including coats, hats, gloves, and anything else that tends to keep you warm and cozy from the cold. Items on the fence will stay there until the end of the year. If you are in need, go visit Amy Bacon and her given fence.
After these short messages, we'll be back with updates on the Israel rally held in Washington, D.C.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo. Gracias. Thank you. What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org. As the Israel-Hamas war has continued to escalate, there was a March for Israel rally held in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. Over 200,000 people turned up at the National Mall Strip to show support for Israel and protest the rising anti-Semitism that has resulted from this war. The protest was organized in hopes of showing support for Israeli and Jewish people who have been negatively affected in the United States as a result of the Israeli-Hamas war.
Over in Nevada, 8 teens are facing murder charges. A fight broke out near the Rancho High School over a pair of stolen headphones and grabbed the attention of many kids, with some joining in on the beating, which led to the death of 17-year-old Jonathan Lewis. The suspects of the murder range in age from 13 to 17, and half of them are being tried as adults, while the other defendants were facing certification hearings in family court to determine if they will be tried as adults as well. The whole fight was recorded and posted online by students at the Rancho High School, where more kids appeared to be in on the fight. Those kids are currently being identified by investigators.
Following the freak accident of hockey player Adam Johnson's death last month, the police have been investigating the situation in South Yorkshire, England. An unidentified man has been arrested by authorities under the suspicion of manslaughter in connection to Johnson's death. While Johnson's death shocked the entire hockey community, it also began a conversation on safety regulations at all levels of hockey. No further information has been released regarding that arrest.
On August 19th, a 71-year-old hiker went missing. Rich Moore set on his journey to summit Blackhead Peak over in southern Colorado with his Jack Russell Terrier and never returned. Moore was found over 2 months later, where he had passed from exposure or hypothermia. The dog that he had taken with him on his trip was found alive, lying beside his owner's body, waiting for the crew to find him. The time and date of Moore's death is unable to be identified at this time.
A California National Guard Humvee that was stolen in July has been recovered and returned to the government possession after a high-speed chase through Sonoma County on Tuesday. Highway Patrol responded initially to State Highway 116 near Jenner and were led on a pursuit to Bodega Highway near Sebastopol. The suspect was identified as 34-year-old Anthony Stable, and he was arrested on 2 outstanding misdemeanor warrants and suspected felony charges. Stable is being held with a $1 million bail at this time.
SpaceX is preparing to do a test flight for their Super Heavy Starship rocket at the end of the week. This is the same rocket that had blown itself up earlier in the year, according to Elon Musk. Over 1,000 upgrades and corrections were made to ensure a safe flight today. They acquired the required license early on Wednesday, which allowed them to legally go through with the entire operation. The launch began today at 8 a.m. from the SpaceX flight facility on the Texas Gulf Coast, and results are still being recorded.
When we come back, we'll check in with TVM sports anchors John Downey and Vincent Goldschmidt for the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
JD, we only got a couple of teams playing for the Pacers right now. Men's and women's basketball.
I mean, basketball season is probably the most excited time of the year, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
couple of good turnouts so far.
I know.
Hopefully we can keep getting more people to show up.
I hope so, man.
Marywood's men's basketball team went 1-2 on the week, falling to Farmingdale State College 115-95 in FDU form, 81-71, before picking up a victory in their home opener, 90-86. Senior guard Trevor Seitz was on a tear, drilling a combined 12 threes across the 3 games. They are set to host the Electric City Classic starting later today when they host Central Pennsylvania College. The women's team dropped 3 straight, falling to Wilkes 56-50 before being blown out by the University of Scranton 76-35 and by Susquehanna University 70-47. They look to bounce back as they are on the road tomorrow against Rutgers Newark. I mean, hopefully the women's can get back on track.
Hopefully they have good weekends.
They started off with a good win, won by 40 points, and have just kind of struggled since.
I mean, non-conference, just get your work in.
Yeah.
Get the chemistry going.
Yeah.
It's early.
A lot of news in professional sports, too.
Oh, I mean, did you hear about the A's?
I can't believe the last team that's in Oakland's now leaving.
They don't even have a stadium.
Yeah, they're going to have to play in the minor league stadium and at Oracle in San Fran for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you had one team to pick, it would be them to do that.
I guess so.
Yeah. Big news surrounding the Buffalo Bills as they have fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey after the team fell to 5-5 with their loss to the Broncos on Monday. QB Josh Allen has been struggling so far this season with costly turnovers. It may not have been Dorsey's fault, but ultimately took the hit for it. The Bills will look to get back into the picture as new OC Joe Brady will take over with a very tough schedule ahead. The awards are starting to roll in as the top managers have been picked in both leagues. In the American League, Orioles manager Brandon Hyde has taken home the award after steering them to a 101-win season, division title for the first time since 2014, and a playoff berth for a team that wasn't expected to do much before the season. Over in the National League, Marlins headman Skip Shoemaker, in his first season, took home the award after leading the Marlins to a wild-card berth after years of struggling. A big fight broke out the other night between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors after Draymond Green used forcibly grabbing, as the NBA said, towards Rudy Gobert's neck and started an altercation right away. Green will be suspended for 5 games, as well as Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels will be fined in the process. Green, who has been suspended multiple times in his career, but this by far has been the worst of the suspensions. That's all for sports. We'll be right back after these messages.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Thanksgiving is coming up. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Mine is definitely carrots.
That's a good one.
What's
Mine
yours?
is stuffing.
I don't know about stuffing.
Not a lot of people like it, honestly. That's going to do it for this week's edition of TVM News. For everyone at TVM-Marywood, thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to follow TV-Marywood's YouTube page and like the TVM Facebook page to stay up to date on the latest happenings and watch additional content. I'm Colby Hughes.
And I'm Emily Rowe. Have a great weekend, Marywood.